Okay. I went ahead and took the liberty to put 100 mLs of water in each of the 250 ml beakers because it looked like that was how we had it set up on the images that we have so far. I have 3 antacids here. Pepsid, I actually ended up taking the rest of the box myself since the last time I ran the experiment. And it's like $8 a box, so I was being cheap and didn't replace it. But I've got 3 of them, and the procedures, of course, will be the same. Now, the first one's plain water, and I opted, I think I used about 5 drops of the phenol red. Kind of stand back here, if you would, that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm noticing this evening, they say light pink, but I don't know what's with my water, but my water is kind of looking like it might be a little bit on the acid side, interestingly enough, or perhaps it's residue in the beakers. But anyway, there's the plain water, and then we'll see that when we add just a very small amount, I think it should be that 1, 2, and I swirl a little bit, 3, 4, look at it changing, 5, by about 5, it's turning pretty yellow. So I don't know if you'll be able to appreciate it on a cell phone camera, the clarity of the color change, but I think we see it here. Then, here's our mortar and pestle, and this first one is, these are the Alka-Seltzer tablets. Obviously I bought generic, again being cheap since I'm paying for the supplies out of pocket. And we had talked about whether we pre-dissolve them, which is the way I did it last time, but we don't have to. We can put them in the mortar and pestle. And I realize my elbow's probably getting in the way, but that's okay. I mean, you can see what I'm doing here, and you're just, I know, doing it so that you'll be able to simulate it better. Now, in the lab manual, they tell you to take your solution of water and phenol red right here, and let me do my 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they tell you to actually then pour this into the bowl and then wash it into the beaker. I think that might be hard to simulate. We can see how it looks if we do that, if you'd like to. But I thought what we were planning on doing was just sort of putting it in thusly. Woo! And of course, and we're supposed to use the dose indicated on the box, which is 2 tablets. Notice I have a glass rod, and I am going to stir it. The foam looks pink. I got paper towel in here just so I can skip a step. I don't want you to have to wait while I go over to the sink each time and wash this out. But then we probably won't, I don't think I'll do this to completion because as I recall, it takes like 50-some drops to get it to turn yellow. But after each addition, once again, I swirl. It's really pretty hard to tell. The pink foam is still there on top. But I think you can get the idea then, adding drop by drop and swirling, or I suppose we could simulate stirring with the glass rod. Then, wipe out my bowl. Let's look at what one would look like with that, kind of, see if we can get back over my shoulder again. I think they want us to really be over the shoulder. There's my phone, updating. Let's see what it'll look like if we wash one down with the liquid. So once again, I'm going to, which one is this? This one is, oh, this is the generic famotidine. Okay. So I grind it up in the mortar and pestle like that. Set my bubbly one off to the side. Let's do 5 drops into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the cap that I had pointed out to Sabrina the other day because in the current image it's just a flat top, but we want a dropper top to it. Boy, my water is really acid. Okay, and then to follow procedure out of the lab manual, this is where they tell you to put it in here, kind of stir it around, that. And then wash it all into the beaker like that. I don't know about you guys, I think that seems kind of hard to think of a way that we would simulate that. And then once again, disturbed with the color of the water. 1, 2, and as I recall, this took even more. I can't remember what I had, but again, 60 some odd drops, as I recall. I have my results recorded over there, but it was quite a bit. Oh, now that I'm stirring it up, it's pink. But you can see now, look at that, boy. It's going to take a lot to get it to turn yellow. And I don't want to waste my HCl because, like I said, they're only going to tolerate me taking so much stuff out of the lab. So anyway, we would do that to completion, which ended up being 60-some drops, as I recall. Can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to wipe out my... Jeez, I stained it. Oh, they may really not like me as a result of this. Yeah. Let's see. So here's my last one. Once again, this one is the aluminum hydroxide and magnesium carbonate. That must be my generic Malox. Gaviscon, one of those. Ooh, this one's hard. Crunch, crunch, crunch. There we go. Good and powdery. And I think I'm just going to use the dump method from this one since we just illustrated what it would look like with the wash method. Oops, except look what I forgot to do. And it's not that, it's this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep our count constant. Wash it around. Now, let's see if this one ties up the acid in the water the way the Pepsid did. Okay. Yeah. That has an odor. Smell it? Mm-hmm. Actually, it smells like birthday cake. A little bit? Okay. Now look at that one. That one's going to be kind of turbid or cloudy. But again, we've got a pinkish color to it. Cloudy pink color. All right, so that's the aluminum hydroxide magnesium. Look at that. It's cloudy compared to the others. So then if we start, this one also took quite a bit, as I recall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, it's going to take quite a bit. So rather than, again, use up all the HCl, you can see it's still very pink. And I believe this one took, like I said, 40 or 50 some odd drops to get. So hopefully from this, you can see, is it possible to simulate washing the ground up antacid into the beaker with the actual solution? Or if you think we ought to just stick with grinding it up, putting it in, and then stirring it up. As you can see, either method is going to work, I think. And again, the other thing I wanted to point out was the bottle. Okay, I'm going to upload this to YouTube. If you need to see anything again with it, or if you want me to get the rest of the antacids, I can do that. Just let me know. Okay, thank you, Jeff.